Hello everyone, my name is Zoya. Today I am doing something fun. I am going to the zoo. A zoo is a place where animals live in protected spaces so people can see them, learn about them, and help protect them. I love animals. I have not been to a zoo since I was a child. So today, I decided to go alone and have an adventure. You will learn many new English words about animals, their homes, and their behaviors. So let's begin. It was a sunny Saturday morning. I woke up early. I looked out the window. The sky was blue. There were no clouds. Perfect day for the zoo, I said to myself. I made a quick breakfast, toast and tea. I packed a small bag with a water bottle, some biscuits, my phone, my wallet, and a hat. The sun was strong, so I needed a hat. I took the bus to the zoo. The bus ride took about 30 minutes. I looked out the window. I saw trees, houses, and shops. Slowly, the buildings became fewer and the trees became more. The zoo was on the edge of the city, near a big park. The bus stopped. I got off. I could see the zoo entrance. There was a large gate with colorful letters that said City Zoo. There were many families with children. Some children were holding balloons. Some were wearing animal caps, tiger ears, monkey faces, elephant trunks. They looked so cute. I smiled. I felt excited like a child again. I walked towards the ticket counter. There was a small line. There were about 5 people in front of me. I waited. A family with 3 small children was in front of me. The children were jumping and shouting, lions, tigers, monkeys. Their mother was trying to calm them down. I laughed quietly. When it was my turn, I stepped forward. The ticket seller was a young man with a friendly face. He said, "Adult ticket?" I said, "Yes, 1 adult ticket, please." He said, "That will be 300 rupees. I gave him 500 rupees. He gave me back 200 rupees and a small paper ticket. The ticket had a picture of a lion on it. He also gave me a map. The map showed the entire zoo. There were different zones: the African savanna, the Asian forest, the bird aviary, the reptile house, the primate zone, and the penguin cove. A zone is a specific area. Aviary is a large cage for birds. Cove is a small area near water. I folded the map and put it in my pocket. I walked through the entrance gate. A security guard checked my bag quickly. He smiled and said, "Enjoy your day." I said, "Thank you." And then I was inside the zoo. I could hear animal sounds already: birds singing, monkeys screeching, and somewhere, a lion roaring. A roar is a loud, deep sound that big cats make. I felt a little thrill. Let's go explore. I looked at my map. The African savanna zone was to my left. I walked towards it. Savanna is a grassy plain in Africa where many animals live. The first enclosure I saw was the lions. An enclosure is a fenced area where animals live so they cannot escape and visitors can see them safely. There was a large glass wall. Behind the glass was a rocky area with dry grass. At first, I didn't see any lions. I looked carefully. Then I saw them, a male lion and 2 female lions. The male lion had a big, beautiful mane. A mane is the thick hair around a male lion's neck. He was lying on a rock, sleeping. His mouth was slightly open. One female lion was walking slowly. The other was also sleeping. A little boy next to me said, "Daddy, why is the lion sleeping?" His father said, "Because lions sleep for almost 20 hours a day." I didn't know that. I learned something new. I took out my phone and took a picture of the sleeping lion. Just then, the lion opened one eye, looked at me, and closed it again. It was like he was saying, "Leave me alone, I'm sleeping." I laughed. Next to the lions were the zebras. Zebras look like horses with black and white stripes. No two zebras have the same stripe pattern, just like human fingerprints. There were 4 zebras. They were standing together, eating grass. Their stripes were beautiful. I watched them for 5 minutes. They were so peaceful. I walked to the Asian forest zone next. This zone had animals from Asia, India, China, Thailand. The first animal I saw was the elephant. There were 2 elephants, a big one and a smaller one. They were gray, with large ears and long trunks. A trunk is an elephant's long nose that it uses to pick up food, drink water, and even greet other elephants. The elephants were eating branches with green leaves. The big elephant used its trunk to pull a branch from a tree. Then it put the branch in its mouth. It chewed slowly. The smaller elephant was playing with mud. It sprayed mud on its own back with its trunk. Elephants do this to protect their skin from the sun. I took a video. It was so funny. Then I saw a sign that said peacock area. Peacocks are beautiful birds with long, colorful tails. I walked towards it. I saw 3 peacocks. 2 were walking on the grass. 1 was sitting on a wall. Their tails were folded. I waited. I wanted to see the tail open like a fan. That is called displaying or fanning. I waited for 2 minutes. Nothing happened. I was about to leave. Then suddenly, the peacock on the wall opened its tail. Wow! It was huge and full of blue, green, and gold colors. There were eye-like patterns on the feathers. Everyone around gasped. Gasp means to take a quick breath in surprise. Children shouted, "Look, look!" The peacock turned around slowly, showing off. Then it closed its tail and jumped down. I felt lucky to see that. The primate zone was next. Primates are animals like monkeys, apes, and gorillas. They are our closest relatives in the animal kingdom. As I walked in, I heard loud screeching. Screech is a high-pitched, sharp sound. The monkeys were very active. They were jumping from branch to branch, swinging on ropes, and chasing each other. There was a family of langur monkeys, gray with black faces and long tails. One baby monkey was holding onto its mother's belly. The mother was climbing a tree. The baby did not fall. It was amazing. Then I saw the chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are apes, not monkeys. The difference is that monkeys have tails and apes do not. There were 3 chimpanzees. They were sitting in a group. One chimpanzee was picking something from another chimpanzee's fur. That is called grooming. Grooming is when animals clean each other's fur to remove dirt and insects. I watched them for a while. Then something funny happened. A chimpanzee picked up a plastic bottle that someone had thrown into the enclosure. The chimpanzee put the bottle on its head like a hat. Then it started walking around, showing off. Everyone laughed. I took a picture. The chimpanzee then threw the bottle at the glass wall. Bang! Everyone jumped. The chimpanzee looked at us and made a funny face. It was like he was laughing at us. That was the best moment of my day. I looked at my map. The reptile house was nearby. Reptiles are animals like snakes, lizards, turtles, and crocodiles. I am a little scared of snakes. But I told myself, Zoya, they are behind glass. They cannot hurt you. Be brave. So I went inside. The reptile house was dark and humid. Humid means the air is wet and warm. There were glass tanks along the walls. Each tank had a different reptile. I saw a green snake curled up on a branch. It was a tree python. It was not moving. It looked like a decoration. I stared at it for 1 minute. It blinked. I jumped. I didn't know snakes blink. I learned something new. Next to the snake tank was a lizard tank. The lizard was huge, about 2 feet long. It was a monitor lizard. It had a long tail and a forked tongue. The tongue came out and went back in, out and in. It looked scary but also interesting. I took a picture from a safe distance. Then I saw the turtles. Turtles are reptiles too. They have hard shells on their backs. When they are scared, they pull their heads and legs inside the shell. There were 3 turtles in a water tank. 1 was swimming. 2 were sitting on a rock, doing nothing. Turtles are very slow. I read a sign that said turtles can live for more than 100 years. Wow. Some turtles are older than my grandmother. I was getting tired. My feet were hurting. But I wanted to see the penguins. Penguins are my favorite animals. They are black and white birds that cannot fly. But they are excellent swimmers. I walked to the Penguin Cove. The Penguin Cove was a large indoor area with a big pool of water and an artificial rocky beach. The temperature was very cold inside because penguins need cold weather. I shivered. Shiver means to shake because of cold. But I didn't mind. I wanted to see the penguins. There were about 15 penguins. Some were standing on the rocks. Some were swimming in the water. One penguin was standing at the edge of the pool, looking down. It seemed to be thinking, should I jump? Then it jumped. It swam so fast. Underwater, penguins look like they are flying. It was beautiful. One penguin waddled towards me. Waddle means to walk with short steps, moving from side to side. Penguins waddle because their legs are short and their bodies are fat. It was so cute. The penguin stopped in front of the glass. It looked at me. I looked at it. Then it turned around and waddled away. I felt like we had a moment. A little girl next to me said, "Mummy, can we take a penguin home?" Her mother laughed and said, "No, sweetheart. Penguins need cold weather and fish. We cannot give them that at home." The girl looked sad. But then a penguin slipped on the ice and fell. Everyone laughed, including the little girl. The last zone I visited was the bird aviary. An aviary is a large cage where birds can fly freely. You can walk inside the aviary. Birds fly around you. It feels magical. I walked in. The aviary was full of trees and plants. I saw parrots, cockatoos, finches, and even a peacock. A green parrot was sitting on a branch near my head. It looked at me. Then it said, "Hello." I was shocked. A talking parrot. I said, "Hello, pretty bird." The parrot tilted its head and said, "Pretty bird. Pretty bird." I started laughing. Other visitors also came to see the talking parrot. The parrot enjoyed the attention. It kept saying, "Hello, pretty bird, hello." I spent 15 minutes in the aviary. Then I was very tired. I had seen almost all the animals. I decided to go to the gift shop before leaving. The gift shop was near the exit. It had stuffed animals, keychains, t-shirts, mugs, and books. I wanted to buy a small souvenir. A souvenir is something you buy to remember your visit. I looked around. I saw a small penguin keychain. It was soft and cute. It cost 150 rupees. I also saw a bookmark with a lion picture. It cost 50 rupees. I bought both. At the counter, the cashier said, "Did you enjoy the zoo?" I said, "Yes, very much." The chimpanzee was my favorite. She laughed and said, "That chimpanzee is famous for being naughty." I paid and left the gift shop. I walked towards the exit. It was almost 4 p.m. I had been at the zoo for almost 5 hours. My feet were tired, my legs were aching, but my heart was full. I saw so many amazing animals. I learned new words. I laughed at a chimpanzee wearing a bottle as a hat. I heard a parrot talk. I saw a peacock dance. It was a perfect day. I passed by the entrance gate. The security guard from the morning was still there. He said, "Did you have fun?" I said, "Yes, it was wonderful." "Thank you." He smiled and waved. I walked out of the zoo gates and waited for the bus. Let me review some new words we learned today. Zoo, enclosure, savanna, mane, roar, trunk, waddle, screech, groom, aviary, reptile, humid, shiver, souvenir, and so many animal names: lion, zebra, elephant, peacock, chimpanzee, python, monitor lizard, turtle, penguin, parrot. I also learned interesting facts. Lions sleep 20 hours a day. No two zebras have the same stripes. Elephants use mud to protect their skin. Penguins cannot fly but swim beautifully. Turtles can live over 100 years. And some parrots can talk. Thank you for coming to the zoo with me. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Watch my other videos: airport, restaurant, shopping mall, hospital, gym, university, dinner at an English friend's house, and grocery shopping. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye and keep learning.